Hello everyone. Today in this video, we're gonna talk about Trigger. So Trigger is an electric stunt agent from the Obel squad, and we're gonna talk about her best build, best teams, her best skill priority, her best W engine, her best disk drives, and her best drive disk, and yeah, we're gonna talk about everything about Trigger. So if you are new to the channel and you just found me on YouTube, this is the right time to subscribe, like, and share the video. And let's get right into it. So first and foremost, we're gonna talk about Trigger. So Trigger is an electric stun character who, she's electric stun character from the Oval Squad, as we all know. And Trigger, as we all know, that Trigger has insane amount of strength. The first strength that Trigger does provide is she can deal long range days with her sniping ability. So let's one of the strongest thing that Trigger does is, of course, with the she can deal long range days with her sniping ability. Like I said, she can use aftershock to stun enemies off field. Number three is she can stun damage multiplier constantly up even if the enemy isn't stunned. So that's one of the things that Trigger shines a lot. When if you are considering pulling her, I think those three strengths that I mentioned here are gonna give you a lot of advantage in the battlefield. So she shines a lot with those kind of abilities, and that's her strength. One of the few weaknesses that Trigger has, that she needs her signature, W engine signature. She needs her W engine signature. This signature is kind of like very important for her because you need a total of 90 crit rate on Trigger. So if you get this weapon, let's say you get this weapon, all right, you get 24 crit rate. So it's easier to get 90 crit rate. The reason why you need to get 90 crit rate is to activate her core. So I will show you right here. If we go to Trigger, if we go to Trigger, light here, as you can see the maximum increase of 75%. When Trigger crit rate exceeds 40%, each 1% crit rate above this threshold increases her days dealt by aftershocks by 1.5% up to a maximum increase of 75%. So in order for you to activate that 75%, maximize the increase of 75%, you need a total of 90 crit rate, around 90 crit rate. So the signature weapon does help out a lot, but yeah, her W engine is kind of must pull. If you want the best Trigger, I don't have her W engine, but still I pull Trigger because I'm gonna use her a lot. But there are other options as well, but I think the W engine certainly will do make a difference. Whether you like it or not, it's the reality. And it has a really good passive. The one passive that this W engine has is the defense reduced by 25%. I think that is one of the key things about this W engine that makes it more valuable to pull. So this W engine, I think, in Zenless Zone Zero, if you have to name two characters that W engines are worth pulling, number one is Miyabi's, and number two is definitely going to be Trigger. So yeah, Trigger W engine will make a difference. But there are other options as well. Not everyone has all the pulls to get our W engine. I do understand that. I'm gonna also recommend the alternatives for Trigger W engine. So yeah, so let's talk about Trigger best disk drive. All right, Trigger best disk drive is probably gonna be, let's see. So we go over here and we go this Shadow Harmony. Shadow Harmony is the best set for Trigger. All right, best drive disk for trigger. So yeah, because this is the best 4-piece for trigger because of her aftershock ability. Her days also increases based on crit rate, which makes 2-piece woodpecker very valuable as well. So this is the first foremost the best for trigger. If you don't have this, you can also use this set called the Shocker Disco. Shocker Disco is also really great for this is probably Shocker Disc 4-piece is probably going to be her second best 4-piece disc drive disc after Shadow Harmony. So we're going to talk about her drive disc. All right. On the fourth slot, you need to use crit rate. Since she needs around 90 crit rate in order for her to get the 75 maximum of threshold to activate her core, you need around 90 crit rate. So I would recommend you to use on the fourth slot crit rate main stat. On the fifth slot, I would recommend you to use electric damage bonus. On the sixth slot, I would recommend you to use impact. On the substats, you need to prioritize on critical rate, which is the very important thing you need to focus on. Critical rate is very important, and you can also try to get some critical damage and attack percentage. That would be nice on the substats. All right. For the W engines, like I said, her signature weapon, her signature is probably gonna be the best in slot for her. All right, like I said, her signature is probably gonna be best in slot, so try to get that if you can. If not the signature, then I'm probably going to recommend some of the W engines that you can use on trigger. One of the W engines that you can use on trigger if you don't have the signature is probably going to be the range, the restrain. The restrain, you can use it on trigger. And number 3, you can use Ice J Teapot. Number 4, you can use Hellfire. Gears. Number 5, you can use six shooter. Yeah, six shooter you can use. You can also use precious fossilized core. You can also use that, which gives you impact percentage on the main stat. So you can use that. But yeah, signature definitely will make a difference. All right. Okay, now let's move on to her. Let's see, her skill priority, right? So when it comes to the skill priority, basic attack, you need to focus on increasing her basic attack to max. And then after basic attack, you can focus on the special attack, which she does a lot of damage. And then you can focus on the chain attack. And then you can focus on this assist. But basic attack, special attack, and chain attack are the most important stuff to upgrade. So max it out to 12 if you can. Yeah. Now we're going to talk about trigger best teams. Trigger best teams. Now let's say, all right, I'm going to talk about trigger best teams. Let's talk about the free to play team. Trigger free to play team is probably going to be Trigger herself, Nicole, and I would probably recommend Billy. All right, Billy, I would recommend that. Trigger aftershock team, which is our electric team, probably gonna be Sanby.
I'm at your time. Standing by.
Sanby, and I would recommend you to use Astrayao. Astrayao and Trigger herself. Okay, that will be Trigger aftershock team. You can also use Trigger with Harumasa as well if you want. Yeah, you can also use Trigger with Harumasa as well. Yes. You can also, if you don't have Sanbi, you can use Harumasa as well. All right. So yeah. So yeah, guys, that's how you build Trigger. So let's come down. Let's come to the conclusion. Should you pull Trigger? Absolutely yes. Trigger is very valuable unit. And if you don't have Chingy, let's say if you missed out on Chingy, if you didn't pull Chingy, then I think you should definitely get Trigger. Trigger is definitely going to make a huge difference in your account, because you need a stunner in your account. Very important. A stunner is very important in ZCC, so you need at least one. So Trigger does make a difference. So yeah, Trigger is very valuable if you have a Silver Soldier Anbi. But if you don't have Silver Soldier Anbi and you like to use her with Harumasa, then you should definitely get Trigger. But if you already have Chingy, then I don't think Trigger is worth pulling for your account. But you still can pull her if you just like her, you know. But like I said, Trigger is very valuable if you are missing out, if you're lacking on a stunner, electric stunner, and she's just the perfect stunner that you need for your account. So I highly recommend. Her pull priority is very high. If you have Chingy, then her pull priority is low. If you don't have Chingy, then Trigger is still very valuable. And regardless of whether you have Chingy or not, I think Trigger is still a very valuable unit, and you need to consider her getting her, because she does make a difference. So yeah, definitely pull Trigger if you can. If you have the pulls, just go all in for Trigger, and that's what I did. And yeah, Trigger is a very good character, and you will not get you will be very satisfied with this character, with this unit. So yeah, that's it for the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out everyone. Bye, take care.